Je m'appelle David, je parle un peu de français, mais ce n'est pas très bien. My name is David Lunderberg. I'm a senior chemistry major, and I have a math minor, and I'm from Granville, Michigan. I had a little bit of a French background in high school. I took 3 years in high school, and so I wanted to keep going with it in college. I studied abroad in the fall of 2016 in North Africa. I was in Tunis, Tunisia. For me, I started as a history major 4 years ago and somehow ended up as a chemistry major. And so for the last 3 years, I've been involved pretty heavily in the sciences, doing research over the summer and during the academic year. And at a certain point, I just wanted to get out of the sciences and go see the world. Tunisia went through the Arab Spring 6 years ago, back in 2011. And all the coursework was focusing on the aftermath of the Arab Spring and the subsequent democratic transition. So culturally, it's a really, really cool place to go to. And it was definitely a step out of my comfort zone. Again, I'm a science major, and so going to Tunisia to study the democratic transition, work on a language I'd studied before, but I hadn't really in any context in 3 years. It was a really big step for me, and so it was a very fun experience, a very formative experience, and I really think that I grew as a person because of it. So it's really one of the most, I think I got as much out of that semester as I did out of my other 3.5 years at Hope College, just growing as a person, learning, and personal development. For me, it just sort of smashed my worldview into pieces. Coming from a very small Midwestern suburb and then going to Tunis, which is really, really different from where I grew up. And so just seeing a different part of the world, talking with many, many different people with very, very diverse opinions, I think that helps you communicate in different cultural contexts. I think it helps you become a global citizen. I think that it's, for a whole menagerie of reasons, it's important. And so I think that no matter what major you are, no matter what your ideal profession is, I think studying abroad will help you. It's a good thing to do. Tunisia speaks both French and Arabic. Mostly everyone speaks Arabic, and mostly everyone also speaks French to some extent, depending on your education level and depending on your cultural background. My goal originally was just to work on my French, but really just by osmosis you start learning the other language as well because it is used. I had a formal French coursework and I used it every day, living with my host family. And I also had a little bit of, not to the same extent, but I had a small amount of coursework in Arabic and the Tunisian dialect of Arabic. And so with taxi drivers, with people on the streets who didn't have French, I would speak whatever smattering of Tunisian Arabic, Tunisi that I picked up. And so it wasn't something else new to learn, which was a lot of fun. I stayed with a host family. I stayed with a multicultural family. I had a French host mother and a Tunisian father. The Tunisian father had spent 6 or 7 years in France, and that's where he met my host mother. A lot of people will study abroad in the really specific reasons. My specific reason would be Star Wars. So Star Wars was, at least the original series was filmed in Tunisia. So I went down towards southern Tunisia, towards the start of the Sahara Desert. There's a really fun picture of me just in the middle of the desert, and I've got a Darth Vader mask and cape on. I've got a Star Wars lightsaber, and honestly, it's just a childhood dream come true. My research advisor had a little bit of a French background, and then he went to go work in a research laboratory in France for a year, and his French got much, much better at the end of that. And so that opened a door for him. He was able to go abroad for a year, have fun, and get some really, really cool research done, and that door wouldn't have been open to him before. I think that it also opens opportunities just with the people you meet where you couldn't communicate with them before, and now you can. So I think that's another way you can use it. And both of those aren't something you're explicitly looking for, but if the opportunity presents itself, the door's open and you can take it if you want to. And so I think that's the fun part of having French in your background. Starting in the fall, I'll be doing graduate work in physical chemistry at UC Berkeley. I started as a history major, I ended up as a chemistry major, and now I'm trying to transition towards atmospheric chemistry. And we'll see where I actually end up in 5 years, because life changes quick and I have no expectations of it staying the same. For now, I'm really excited to go to Berkeley and have fun with research. I've loved research for the last couple of years, and I'm looking forward to a great next couple of years working in the lab. So I'll be doing doctoral work in physical chemistry. I have an NSF Fellowship, which will give funding for 3 years, and so that gives me a little bit of flexibility in choosing a lab. So hopefully that'll open doors. I think the fun part of studying abroad is that I think I'm atypical in that I'm a chemistry major who did a political science study abroad. And so I think that might have set me apart a little bit, which helped me out looking at scholarships and probably helped me out getting into schools. And so study abroad. Akahau. That's Akahau's Arabic for that's it.